In 2023, 2 years ago, the Surgeon General in the U.S. published a report titled Our Epidemic of Loneliness and Isolation. So I was amazed when I saw that, but relieved also, because I've been wanting to talk about this trend that I see in our culture towards more solitariness. And it's been difficult to do that because since a young age, I felt like I was hearing from all kinds of angles, cultural, family, that you should be practical, you should get a degree in engineering or be a lawyer or be a doctor, and things that are more related to matters of the heart, which I would consider loneliness to be, what if that's frivolous? And so, I was relieved to see this report, because I'd like to get into this for my presentation. My topic is rites of passage, but before I get to that, I would like to talk about what's going on here. Why do we retreat to our phones? Why are there trends towards self-checkout and e-commerce, whereas in the past we would see each other more often in public? I hear systemic issues from some of the other talks tonight, and it's like kind of overwhelming. But I get nerdy about philosophy and history, and so I look back at all the way. Let me give you a roadmap. What's going on, what I think we can do about it, which, to give you an advanced idea, I think rites of passage, and then a call to action. So I look back all the way to the Hebrew Bible, first page. God created the world for man's use and benefit, to rule over and to subdue. And I think of the Irish poet who gave the invitation, what if you said that to a friend of yours, to the person sitting next to you? God created you for me to rule over and to subdue. You probably wouldn't have that friend for much longer. So what if there already 2,000 or more years ago, there is a felt separation from the world? And if we fast forward to the scientific revolution and we see people getting excited and optimistic that they've discovered that the world is just a machine built of natural laws and processes, and if we can just crack the code, we'll all be living in this technologically mediated paradise. And now further on we have the Industrial Revolution, in which if the world is just a machine, it doesn't matter what we do to her. So could it be that there are societies, and ours being one of them, where many of us may feel a sense of separation from the community of life around us? And that's where I think that we have real opportunity here. And it's as the English author Martin Shaw said, the hour is late. And I think we get that when we hear about the marshes in Iraq, and we know that there are systemic issues. And that if we can come out of our loneliness and into community, rites of passage are a tool for doing this. They're an ancient technology that has been ubiquitous among the world's indigenous peoples, but it's unknown to Western society. In its simplest, people hear that, if you are familiar, you might think that it's support for youth, and it is, but its most simplest definition is its community, organized, systematic approach to coming into the ground of our being and realizing our relatedness to all of life, and having that be something we organize together. And once we have a community that can do that together and does that together and is willing to show up for how life is really hard and we want to retreat into our phones, but we're going to be together, and that makes it easier, then we can offer that to young people. Because why should we expect young people to be present for the things that, as folks in here who might be a little older, have difficulty? But we can do this together. We can come together, and my idea is that next year I'll be doing my senior project, and I would like to take inspiration from restorative justice work that have a preventative, proactive practice where we build relationships in circle that's non-hierarchical, and everyone has a chance to be heard, and we'll have diverse voices, and everyone is respected, and everyone is represented. And in this way, we can support each other in the work of showing up for how life is now this, and now this, and now this, and we're here and we're present for it. At the same time, starting to think about a rites of passage, which is a chance for experiential education for young people to have a embodied experience of what that means to be a part of the community of life. The rites of passage are ritual pedagogy, it's ritual education, which means that you go through a certain prescribed steps that the older folks have decided is appropriate for this particular context, and maybe a different community has a different way of doing it. But through the ritual, as opposed to the intellect, there's an opportunity for the young people to see that they are a part of the world, and in that way we can spark a tradition that can go far beyond us, because at the end of the day we won't survive our lives, and that's a scary thing to face alone. But we do have control over what we do with the time that we have. So I will call you all to find me, seek me out. My email address, I could write it down, or you can just find me. Somebody who knows me, you can find me, and ask for me to email you at the beginning of the fall or the end of the summer of this year, when I'll be getting more of the ideas together for how I'd like to begin the proactive circles for building relationships and doing something that future generations can look back on us and feel proud of us for. Thank you.